So guys, another day, another setup. As you can see, we're back in the markets this week. And today was Monday. Took the sell, went pretty well. And I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So we actually started on the 4 hour to check our daily buys. And as you can see, this morning we were uh, prices up here, right? So you can see Asia here. You can see the Asia range, but we were up here, so price was up here. So obviously my price was bearish for today because since last week we had bearish price action. As you can see, we're making series of uh, lower highs and lower lows. Kept making lower highs, lows. We also had this gap which Asia was rejecting on Sunday and price here. So it was very interesting because first of all we had this slow watch here, as you can see, right? We had this first low that price already took out. We already took it out this morning. So I was like, okay, are we gonna go for a buy to Asia highs, or are we gonna go for straight sell down? Because we already took out this low, right? So we could have a bounce, but I don't know. I don't really know. So yeah, of course, we waited for New York Open as always because that's where the action happens, right? So yeah, with Asian range, uh, we already took out this low prior to the New York session, right? So we had New York Open right here, 9:30, and as I said, we already took out this low, right? We already took out this low. So I was like, okay, what is price gonna do, right? Because we might have a bounce, we might not have a bounce. So we waited for New York Open. As you can see, price immediately swept out these highs and we swept out these highs immediately. We came down. I'm like, okay, are we gonna go into buys or are we gonna go lower, right? Because we already took out this low. We don't really know what's gonna happen, right? So we had this sweep, came down, and you can see price actually had a nice sell for us. We actually could have entered here because after all we did have a lot of liquidity because uh, yeah, we had a lot of liquidity lows for price to take out. So we had this sweep, immediate sell, missed this initial move because I thought maybe we're gonna have a bounce, right? We're gonna have a bounce from this level, but it did not happen, right? So I I missed this initial move. We can see price just dumped after that, right? I didn't get my entry. You can see here macro times 950 to 1010 gave us nothing, right? We didn't have nothing. I'm like, okay, Let's wait. Let's see what happens because uh, macro, most of the time, macro goes ahead and rebalances, takes out liquidity, or we make more internal liquidity, right? Now, in this case, price was hunting for more liquidity. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? I thought we are gonna have a bounce, but that's not the case because we had, first of all, we had these lows that price already took. We had these previous Asia lows that was basically not too far from the the opening range, right, of New York Open, right? So we also had these lows, which were previous Asia lows, right? So so we had these lows, but we also had these lows, right? These lows, and of course south side. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I don't think we're gonna rebalance to the upside anymore because we have so much liquidity here, right? We have, look, right? We have so much liquidity, right? As I said, we have we actually had four stack lows. As you can see, we had uh this low, this low, and this low, right? We had basically like four lows, which we saw here, right? We had four lows for smart money to take out. So we had all this liquidity resting under this range, right? So four liquidities, very what you said, very powerful to keep pushing down, right? So we had this one. Let's go back to the 5 minute. So yeah, where was I? We are in macro, and macro was looking for liquidity, obviously, because we missed this sell. We had macro. Macro was looking for more liquidity. Where is liquidity lying? This low. So I'm like, okay, we take out this low, and I was still waiting, right? I was still looking at what price was gonna do because we did have these levels of liquidity. So I was still looking for shorts, right? So price took out this low after the macro, and I waited. Now I saw this 5 minute order block with the imbalance, and you can see price was rejecting it nicely, right? So I was like, okay, if price goes above these highs, then we have a change in the state, right, for the buys. So we could potentially enter longs here. But we can see this nice rejection, imbalance as well. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? So I went to the 1 minute and I was looking for my entry, right? Because price was respecting it nicely. We're still in this bearish order flow. We still had these two levels of liquidity for price to take out. So we are beginning to look for shorts, right? And here's where the entry comes in, right? So what do you see here? You see actually a nice setup forming. We have this 5 minute order block. We can see here manipulation. Sorry, you can see accumulation right here, which is basically smart money building their orders to make a move, right? They're building the orders. We know that okay, smart money is in play right now because you can see this accumulation. What do we see here next? We see this manipulation. So we manipulate this structure. We reject this 5 minute imbalance as well as this order block, and we come down, right? So I was like, okay, this is actually looking good for shorts, right? So let me demonstrate it real quick. We had the accumulation, right? Draw it here for you. With the accumulation, we had the manipulation, and eventually we had the distribution, right? As you can see. So I'm like, okay, we're actually going into cells because we already have our draw liquidity, which is all these lows. We just took out this low. We are now accumulating more orders to push down further to take out these lows, right? So we actually had this nice AMD setup. So we had accumulation, as you can see here. We had the manipulation, and eventually we had distribution, right? We should looking something like this. So we had this nice structure, nice AMD structure to look for cells. So here's where my entry came in, right? So let me move this. Move this real quick. Yes. So as I said, we had this nice accumulation. We had this manipulation. I went back to the 5 minute, and I was like, okay, if this closes in a change in the state, I will enter immediately, right? So we had this nice 5 minute change in the state. We had this nice 5 minute change in the state, and that's where I entered nice short, stop above this rejection level, take profit at sell side right here. This was my final target, and as you can see, we hit TP, we had take profit, which was nice. And as you can see here, I had my position on MetaTrader. We can see this nice manipulation, after this accumulation, right? So we had accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. As you can see here, price which is respecting bearish price action, right? So overall, nice trade, absolute nice trade. Great way to start a week of Monday, and yeah, it's basically quite a simple trade. AMD structure. We had these levels of sell side, which price took out very swiftly, as you can see. We took it out very swiftly today, right? Four levels of liquidity. Took it swiftly, which was no surprise. And now we are what looks to be rebalancing back to equilibrium. I can see that we are refilling imbalances here. So yeah, we'll check what the market has for us to borrow because yeah, we're still going down. I do believe we're gonna take out these levels of sell side in the coming weeks, but yeah, that was the trade that I took today. Great way to start the week, and yeah, we are uh, we are making bank, man. So yeah, I'm trying to hold out this win streak for the week, and I will uh keep you guys on alert.